So we already know that a Road to the Final Team 3 is dropping at some point in the very near future, and in this video today we're going to look at some potential players who could feature in said team. If you need to get your hands on some coins to improve your ultimate team, then check out the link in the description, igvault.com, and if you use the code Kieron at checkout, you'll get yourself a pretty nice discount. We're going to waste absolutely no time in this video, we're just going to get straight into things, and we're going to start with a potential Road to the Final Franky de Jong. This is one of those cards that if Barcelona progressed quite far in the Champions League could become absolutely incredible, just with how fairly well rounded he is. Fair enough, his shooting stats aren't anything special, but they'll get better as the competition goes on, but everywhere else looks absolutely fantastic, and yeah, this card would, I'm sure, be very, very expensive. He actually had a chance at being informed this week and didn't get into the team of the week, so that kind of makes me think maybe EA is saving him for this promo. That could just be, you know, just complete coincidence, but maybe there's a bit of theory behind him not getting into the team of the week. But yeah, would you guys like to see this one? Let me know in the comments. The next player on this page is a big one. It's a Road to the Final Neymar. Now, we have seen some pretty big players involved in this promo in the past, and yeah, Neymar would be absolutely massive. Currently doesn't have a special card in Ultimate Team either, so yeah, it's probably about time he got one. Could this promo fit him quite well? I think it could. And yeah, how expensive do you think a card like this could be? I am thinking an absolutely insane amount, like 2, maybe 3 million. Yeah, it would be ridiculous. So yeah, how far do you also think PSG could go in this competition? It's probably worth mentioning some of the Champions League fixtures because, yeah, it's Barcelona against PSG. So if Neymar was to get in, like his card, depending on how PSG do against Barcelona, could like skyrocket or it could absolutely tank. So yeah, would be an interesting one for sure. RB Leipzig are up against Liverpool, and a player who somehow still has not got a special card in FIFA 21 is Angelino. And I don't get how he hasn't. He has got a ridiculous amount of goals and assists from a defensive position in both the Champions League and Bundesliga this year. It's absolutely nuts, and as I say, he could have had multiple informs, probably should have been in or could have been in the team in the group stage, didn't get in unfortunately, so maybe once again, maybe finally this could be the promo where he gets a special item. Like I just touched on, it is RB Leipzig against Liverpool, and the next player we have to discuss is a potential Road to the Final Roberto Firmino, another player who has insane potential if selected for this promo. Absolutely loved his flashback card a few years ago, and hopefully he'll get an item like that again in Ultimate Team, because that card, pretty much, if you know, you know. That card was exceptional. And to be fair, Firmino has an already very, very good item in the game. I don't think it's great as a striker, but I think as a camp it's excellent. So this would definitely be a card that I personally would be very interested in. Other players I considered picking from Liverpool were players like Jordan Henderson and also Gini Wijnaldum. Next up, we have a player from Juventus, and I've gone with Rabia. To be honest, I was looking through the Juventus squad, and I was thinking, which player should I go for? And I was deciding between Morata, De Ligt and Rabia, and in the end I went with the Frenchman just because he's got a very well-rounded card, which, like I've touched on before, could just become a really, really good item for the game. But obviously there are many other options from Juve. In the comments below, I'd love to hear from you guys. Who do you think EA will go for from them? They have Porto in the next round, so I think it's fair to say the favourites in that matchup to go through, but who knows, maybe Porto could pull off the shock. We move on now to a Borussia Dortmund player. We have Emre Can. I just want this card to happen. I actually had this guy in my original Road to the Final predictions. Yeah, I just want this item to happen because look at it. It would become insane. So the mock-up you can see on the screen right now is just with one upgrade. Imagine if Dortmund progressed quite far. This could become one of the best midfielders on the game. It really, really could. So I'm hoping this one happens. Dortmund have got Sevilla in the next round. Other options from Dortmund obviously include, you've got Julian Brandt, maybe a Royce, but he actually had the Rule Breakers card, so I don't think they'll put him into another promo this soon. Maybe someone like a Piszczek or a Nico Schulz would be quite cool, but I personally am hoping they go with Emre Can. Now, I know I've already got a bunch of high-rated players in this video, but to be honest, I'm expecting a lot of high-rated players to feature in Road to the Final Team 3. So we're going to go for another one in the form of Luis Suarez from Atletico Madrid. Now, I was looking through their squad page and I was thinking, who should I go for from them? And I was looking at some midfielders like Koke, Saul and players like that, but I thought, I've already got so many mids in this video, let's go for some more attacking. And then I thought, you know what, Suarez, he could fit in quite well. And yeah, if he was to get in, obviously some work definitely could be done on his pace. His pace, to be honest, is never going to be brilliant, but his dribbling, shooting, passing and physicals could all get pretty insane, and in the end this card could become a really good attacking mid. Atletico Madrid are up against Chelsea in the next round, and that is definitely one of the closest ties in the knockout stages of the Champions League. Truly don't know who I favourite in that tie. In the comments below, who do you think will go through out of Atletico Madrid and Chelsea? Speaking of Chelsea, how did they not get anyone in the team in the group stage? That is still absolutely insane to me. They've had a really good Champions League campaign so far. Now, I know they got that road to the final Mason Mount earlier on, but that's the only Champions League card they've had so far, which is, yeah, just a bit surprising. It really is. As I say, I can't believe they didn't get anyone in the team of the group stage. So there's plenty of players to choose from here. I personally would prefer to see a road to the final Tomori. I think that would be, you know, like Ala, road to the final Klosterman, like them two as a centre-back pairing would be absolutely outstanding. But maybe EA will go for someone else instead. Maybe a Kepa if they need a goalkeeper option. Kovacic is obviously the player I've picked for this video. I think that card would be great. And they could go for someone else, maybe a Pulisic, or maybe they could go for someone like Hudson-Odoi and boost him from a silver to a gold. I think that would be quite nice. But yeah, or maybe Giroud. Giroud's having a pretty good tournament. Obviously scored quite a few goals in the group stage, so he is also an option. Who would you like to see from Chelsea get into this promotion? Bayern Munich are obviously the current Champions League holders, and yeah, I'd be quite surprised to see them not get a player in Team 3, to be honest. And obviously there are quite a few options. I've gone for Thomas Muller, just think it would be quite a nice item, but a Kimmich would be pretty insane, right? That could be another ridiculous midfielder added into the game. Or maybe they could go for another defender. Obviously we've already had Alphonso Davies, so I kind of think they won't go with that. So I'm thinking they're either going to go with someone like Muller or maybe someone like Gnabry. Wouldn't mind Lucas Hernandez though. I think that card would be pretty nuts. And a road to the final Hernandez next to a road to the final Alphonso Davies could become a very good defensive partnership at the back, especially if Bayern do what they did last year in the Champions League. It's a Real Madrid player to discuss next, and I've gone with Dani Carvajal. Part of my reasoning is there isn't many good La Liga right-backs in the game, so this could be a nice option. And another part of my reasoning for this pick is the fact that he didn't get into this week's Team of the Week, and I thought he had a fairly good chance, but they went for Toni Kroos instead. Now, it could just be coincidence that they've gone with Kroos because they think he had the better performance. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, I'm thinking Carvajal has a good chance, and would be an interesting card indeed. I'd personally rather see someone like Mendy involved. Well, do I want a road to the final Mendy in game? I don't know. If I had it in my team, I'm happy. If I come up against it, I'm not. So yeah, kind of a double-edged sword with a road to the final Mendy. I think that card would be insanely expensive as well. Same could be said, to be honest, for a road to the final Varane. So yeah, which Real Madrid player would you guys like to see be involved in this team? And then the final Champions League player we're going to discuss in this video is a player from Manchester City, and I've gone with João Cancelo, but obviously from Man City there are many other options. Someone like Mahrez maybe, a Phil Foden I think would be... A Phil Foden actually seems like a very EA pick. I think they might actually go with him. But I've already made the Cancelo card, so we're going to go with him for the video. But I think Foden, actually, now to think about it, has a very good chance. Also, Fernandinho could make for a fairly interesting item as well, if selected for this promo. Yeah, obviously with the amount of good teams in the Champions League, there are many options from many clubs, so it's hard to just pick, you know, one. And I can't see EA picking more than one in this team, but I very well could be wrong on that. But I think a road to the final Cancelo would be brilliant. That card could be pretty nuts. Could there even be potential for this to be a left back item? He's played left back a few times this season, so a position change road to the final card, that could be, you know, very interesting. Very. So we've spoken about quite a few Champions League options. Now it's time to move over to the Europa League. Now, if I'm being fully honest, I'm only going to imagine that EA are probably going to give us 2, maybe 3 of these. So me putting in 6 is probably a bit overkill. But you know what? I want to talk about a few players. So I have done exactly that. I think a road to the final Fred would be pretty insane for Premier League teams. That could certainly be a good card to keep an eye on. Obviously, Man United have now dropped out of the Champions League into the Europa League. So yeah, that is an option. Bergwijn I think would be pretty good. I think Tottenham will be one of the favourites for this competition this year, which is unfortunate for me as an Arsenal fan. But nonetheless, I think a road to the final Bergwijn could actually become something really, really nice. I actually did want to go for Lo Celso, but I thought Tottenham have already got a road to the final with Suzuka, so I don't think they'll go for another centre mid, so I went for an attacking option instead. Now we have PSV's Marlon. In previous FIFAs has had some really overpowered cards, so it would be good to see him get another special item. And talking about overpowered cards, Orsic in previous years is another one that's had some very, very insane special items. So for him to get a road to the final card, that card could become absolutely nuts depending on how far his team can actually go in this comp. Bakayoko, another player who was, you know, OP in a previous year. I actually thought he was going to get in to like one of the first patches of Road to the Final, so maybe he'll get into the third one. We will have to see. And then finally, we have Jonathan Ikone from Lille, and I think most of the long-time viewers on the channel will know I just want a special Ikone in the game. I think his non-inform is great, and a boosted version of him I think would be awesome. So I'm just hoping to see that one, to be honest. Do I think it'll happen? Probably not, but I'm hopeful. I would like to see it happen. Anyway guys, those are my predictions for the upcoming Road to the Final Team 3. In the comments below, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Which players do you think will make it in? And also, how expensive do you think a Road to the Final Neymar would be if EA actually did it? If you could leave a like rating on the video, that'd be very much appreciated. And if you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.